We're looking at John chapter 8, the woman caught in adultery. We take it from verse 2 in the ESV. Early in the morning he came again to the temple. All the people came to him, and he sat down and taught them. The scribes and the Pharisees brought a woman who had been caught in adultery, and placing her in the midst, they said to him, "Teacher, this woman has been caught in the act of adultery. Now in the law, Moses commanded us to stone such women. So what do you say?" This they said to test him, that they might have some charge to bring against him. Jesus bent down and wrote with his finger on the ground. And as they continued to ask him, he stood up and said to them, "Let him who is without sin among you be the first to throw a stone." And once more he bent down and wrote on the ground. But when they heard it, they went away one by one, beginning with the older ones, and Jesus was left alone with the woman standing before him. Jesus stood up and said to her, "Woman, where are they? Has no one condemned you?" She said, "No one, Lord." And Jesus said, "Neither do I condemn you. Go, and from now on, sin no more." With his finger, Jesus wrote upon the ground the sinful state of each of those who, regardless of their inner vileness, brought the woman taken in adultery for condemnation. So they left her, one by one, and went away, abashed and ashamed. With his finger, Jesus also points out in secret to his servants their wounds of sin, and when they repent with a touch of the same finger, he heals them. We see the finger of God writing down the law on the tablets of testimony in Exodus 31 verse 18, which reads, "And he gave to Moses, when he had finished speaking with him on Mount Sinai, the 2 tablets of the testimony, tablets of stone, written with the finger of God." Jesus is showing us here, when he writes in the ground with his finger, that he is writing the law on the ground of the earth, just as he wrote it on the 2 tablets of testimony that he gave to Moses. He is essentially convicting those present by the law with his finger, just as the tablets of the law, written by the finger of God, convict all of sin, for all fall short of the glory of God. It is a recognition of one's guilt under the law that stops us being able to condemn others. For all of us must come to God and receive forgiveness through grace, through faith, through the blood of Christ, not by our merits or by our works. For we are all equally guilty under the law. The crowd were as guilty as the woman they accused. Jesus was reminding them of the finger of God, and they stood ashamed.